What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Cam, a Stoic Soldier. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Hope everyone's living out their week strong. Hope it's been a great start to the year. We're coming to an end of January of 2026, and hope that the next month is bringing great things in store for people. And like I said in the past, guys, start your transition early, even if it's as minimal as possible. Make that transition in increments as opposed to doing it all at once, because changing things overnight is never easy. A lot of times people consider it to be unnatural. So whatever you do it gradually, do it at your own pace, and don't check yourself incrementally as you go. Just fall in love with that process, whatever it is that you're doing. Just let yourself get lost in it, but to a healthy degree, to where you're not blind and oblivious to what else is going on around you. Anyway, with that said, I digress. So, getting into the topic of today's video, in the last video, I talked about things that don't. It was titled "Does It Actually Matter?" Um, Ultimately, summarizing that more often than not, things that we put the most emphasis on, the things that we tend to overanalyze, things that we think have this immaculate, significant purpose that create who we are, that give us our identity, that make or break us, either making us a failure or a success. They're really not that important at the end of the day. And then, more important than anything, 9 out of 10 times, if not 10, they are completely irrelevant and just have nothing to do with who we are or our trajectory in life. And they just don't dictate things the way that we would normally think that they would. So now in this video, talking a little bit more about the importance of the role you play, and as a matter of fact, more importantly, the understanding your sense of self, understanding how important it is to maintain your individuality, how important and how crucial it is to still remember that you are the center of your world. No matter who else is in your life, no matter who else might be a part of your life, who else contributes, what have you, you are ultimately the one who's in charge of everything. You are in the driver's seat. You are the captain of your own ship. Now, what do we constantly hear? Human beings from the dawn of time have needed one thing in particular. We've all searched for community. We've all searched for sanctuary in a group. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. But even though, contrary to popular belief, that's what we're told, maybe we need it at times. There are times where we do need people. There are times where we do have relationships. We do make friendships. We have business partners. We have people that rotate in and out of our lives for that time being, whatever frequency we're on, whatever wavelength we're emitting, whatever state of mind that we're in or what we're looking for. We find people who are like-minded individuals that resonate with that, and you guys might have a common goal, a common purpose, and you guys connect on that. But it's not to say that that's going to last forever. And more importantly, to go out of your way and say you need people and you can't survive without people altogether, that's a little bit over the top. Now, again, they do serve a purpose, and yes, there are times where we will need people in our lives. But to go out of your way and almost label it as you need to glue yourself to every community that you find, that you need to find a group of people that you're with constantly, that you can depend on, that depend on you, that you have to check up with on a regular basis. It doesn't need to be that way. You know, maybe for those people who have not had the best family life growing up, who didn't have a lot of long-term friendships, relationships, maybe they need that. And I understand, because I myself have gone through that stage. But ultimately, they're never going to make you feel whole. For you to try to search for something external to fill that void that's within you, you're just going to end up stuck in a loop. It's going to be the hamster on the wheel. It's going to be dog chasing his own tail. You're going to end up wasting your time to realize that what you were looking for was literally within you the entire time. And I'm sure that's cliche. We've all heard that time and time again. But at the end of the day, as they always say, you are the master of your destiny. You are responsible for what happens to you. It's not always your fault again, but as we talked about, it's your responsibility. So even though something may have happened, somebody may have betrayed you, screwed you over, whatever, it's your responsibility to take the next step from here because now you're aware of that. And what do they always say? They're always saying that we're responsible for our own failure. Yeah, that's true on a level. But there are a lot of people who get that misconception thinking that it's not a two-way street. They have a double standard saying that it's your fault that you failed. But then when you succeed, oh, I couldn't have done it without you. No, that's not the way it works. If I crashed when I'm driving, when I'm in the driver's seat, that's on me. If I got us home safely, or if I was in the fast lane, we were in the race, and I got to the finish line, I'm the one who did that. That you have the right to take credit for your success. If the crowd turns on you when you fail, that's on you. But if they want to start cheering when you win, that's also still on you. Both are irrelevant. If people are putting you down, if people are chastising you because of the mistakes you've made, which we all have, but then they want to sit there and be part of the fame and the glory when you finally reach the mountaintop, it's got to be one or the other. You want to be part of my failure, you get to be part of my success. And then vice versa. If you want no involvement in my failure, no involvement in my success, you have the right to claim that. If it's their fault, if they're the one who did you wrong, if you were powerless, then they can claim whatever good happens to you if it is on their accord. But if you did it all yourself, as they always say, if you are the one who screwed things up, you are ultimately the one who can find your way back. They can't pull you out of that well or out of that abyss. They cannot climb back to the top of that mountain for you. That is something that you have to do yourself. And then the minute that you reach that ledge, the minute that you get to the top, you feel it, and then you stand tall on top of it, you are the one who gets to experience that. Now, a lot of times, yeah, we want to share it with people, and that's fine. But ultimately still remembering that you were the one who got you there. You were the one pushing the gas. You were the one who was putting in that work. You are the one who put those blood, sweat, and tears in there. So now, going back to this, to our topic, realizing that you don't actually need people. Yes, again, business-wise, we interact with people, we make our transactions, we do what we have to, and then we go about our day, go about our lives. But as far as finding sanctuary, let's say in religion, let's say in a sporting community, somebody, maybe you find an online gaming community, somebody who really loves a certain new game that you guys are playing. As much as you think that these people are your family or lifelong group that you can go to for anything, always, for one thing, nothing lasts forever. Everything on some level has an expiration date. That doesn't mean it can't go back, but ultimately everything goes through its cycles. That's a circle of life right there. But more importantly, they are not going to make you feel whole, and they cannot. And if you find that comfort within yourself, you have the right to claim that. Anybody going around and telling you that you need people to feel whole, more often than not, that's them trying to project their insecurities onto somebody else. That's them saying, I need you to validate my belief that I'm nothing without these people, that I'm nothing without this system, that I'm nothing without these beliefs. They need somebody else to confirm that what they think is valid, because they don't want that bubble to be bursted. Psychologists will even tell you this is a classic case of projection. Whatever they're feeling, they try to transfer that onto somebody else and use any small examples that they can find, taking away attention from themselves, not realizing that they were the ones to begin with who had the issue, that it initially started with them. It all goes back to the expression, the pot calling the kettle black. That's pretty much as straightforward and as down to a T of an example as you can find. If somebody, for example, says that you need to do something different with your business, you need to do something different with how you're marketing yourself because you struggled with a few clients here and there, but then you have somebody telling you that who has no idea how to start a business to begin with, somebody who maybe even failed a business miserably, or somebody who just wants to be a part of that, but they're hiding behind somebody else. You find a lot of that with these people who generally gravitate towards, things like cults, things like online communities, people who are constantly in need of being around others and who are just not okay with being by themselves because deep down inside they hate themselves. They're not happy with the way that they are, and they need to create this image for themselves and then ultimately for other people because what they see in the mirror is not somebody that they're content with. And that all comes down to spending time with yourself, which I know a lot of people talk about how insane they would go. Well, that's exactly why you need to do it. People immediately think something like cabin fever. They think they're going to end up turning into Jack Torrance from The Shining. But this is how the most enlightened and the most spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically stable individuals, the spiritualists especially, have reached that point of nirvana. This is how they've reached that mountaintop internally. And that is the ultimate mountaintop. There's nothing that can replace that. That is as indispensable as it gets. That is peace that nobody can take away from you. It's like confidence, for example. You have somebody who is confident because they drive a nice car, because they have nice clothes, because they may have a decent job. They got a few chicks hitting them up in their DMs. But what happens when you take that away? And then the next person comes in. Genuine confidence, meaning they live an average life, wear average clothes, average job. But whatever they have, with or without it, they're perfectly neutral. If they have it, cool. If not, I'm still me. I'm still who I am. I'm proud of my traits. I'm proud of my characteristics. And nobody's going to take that away from me. Because ultimately, no two individuals are going to be exactly alike. So with who I am, I'm proud of it. I'm content with it. Nothing and no one is going to take that from me. So you have to find that within yourself. And once you do, you won't need to look to anybody else. You won't need anybody else to validate you. You don't need confirmation from anyone that what you're doing or who you are is or isn't good enough. You'll know that and decide that for yourself. So for those of you out there who may be used to socializing, which again is not by any means a bad thing, by no means do I ridicule that, but are using that as a form of coping. If that's a coping mechanism for you because you don't want to be by yourself because you're scared or you're just uncomfortable with who you are as a person and you can't find that peace without these things, without going to so-and-so group, start making it a habit for yourself to be alone. It doesn't even have to be for a day. It doesn't have to be a month-long retreat like they do in the Shaolin Temple kind of thing. Because even though there are benefits to that, for some people it may start off as a little extreme, so maybe you have to work your way into it. So do an hour at a time. An hour, quietly sit by yourself, put some music on, or even just go for a long walk. Something as simple as that can and will make all the difference in the world. Because by doing that, by being alone with yourself, there's no tug of war in your mind. There's no inner conflict. There's no thousands of voices telling you what you should and shouldn't do, what you can and can't do, what is and isn't right. You are the one who makes the executive decision at the end of the day. So by doing that, you can think clearly. It's just one person, one voice that you have to listen to, your own voice, your own conscience. And then it's going to decide for you rather quickly as to whether or not what you're doing is the right decision or not. It allows you to connect better with your tuition. So make that a habit on a regular basis to just spend time with yourself. And then as you feel more comfortable, increase it as you go along. Exposure therapy, as they talk about in psychology. Anyway, that's all the time that we have for today, guys. We went a little bit over, and I'm glad that I was able to do that. I know it's been a minute since I posted. Schedule's a little bit more back on track, so I'll actually be posting a couple more times within the next few days. I can't wait to see you guys again. For those who have supported the channel, thank you guys so much. For those who have subscribed, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you guys could hit that subscribe button at any time. And if you guys have any requests, leave them in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to help. Cool. So thank you guys for your time again today. Stoic Soldier out. I'll see you guys next time.